In this exercise, we're going to make a cup using some geometry tools and the Follow Me tool and some arc tools. To begin with, we need to set up our scale. So I want you to go to Model Info, and from there we're going to change this to be centimeters, or rather millimeters. So I'll set that, and I think our scale, or precision rather, needs to be just 0.00. That looks like it. Okay, and with that done, we'll put that away and begin. Need to make a platform to work with, so I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Now we are making a cup, and the cup is going to be somewhat to scale. In other words, it's going to be, well, if you were to print it, it would look like a cup. And we'll be able to compare it to our model here. You can delete him if you want to, but I'm going to leave him there. Let's start with a rectangle, and I'll just create a rectangle here. Let's make it 1,000 millimeters by 1,000 millimeters. I'll put a comma. There we are. And that's just a base to put our geometry on. Geometry lets us design and place what we need to create by having pre-existing things to connect things to. Now the next thing we'll build is a line on this. Switch to the line tool. We'll use rectangle. And that's still a line tool. Let's switch to rectangle. There we are. And I'm going to constrain this to be perpendicular or on the green plane. I'll put it right in the middle, and let's make this 40 by 90 millimeters. 40, 90. And that's going to be roughly the shape of half of our cup. And in that, we're going to design or create the curve of our cup. We'll do that next. So we'll use the arc tool, and the one I choose to use is this standard arc tool as opposed to the 2-point. Okay, so with the arc tool, well, this is where it gets tricky. I'm going to zoom in quite a bit. Tricky in that it gives you lots of choices, but we want to choose something that's not in the center where we put our curve of our cup, but maybe 30 millimeters from the edge. So I'll click right about there, and then I'm going to go up a ways and click on the edge, and we should get our arc. This is the wrong tool. How did I miss that? We do want our 2-point arc. So I'll start it here, and I'll go up the edge. Notice it goes past the edge, but that's not a problem. So I'm going to go up, what, maybe 30 millimeters up, if you notice the link down below. Now I'm going to pull my mouse straight back down, and what it does is it pulls that arc inside. And this, when it's blue, implies that this end is tangent to that edge that goes up and down, and that's what we want. So we're actually quite a bit done. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is create the thickness of my cup. And to do that, I'll switch over to the offset tool. And I'll click inside, and I'm thinking the inside of my cup needs to be about 5 millimeters. So I'll just press 5, and so there, now I have 5 millimeters for my cup. Let's draw a few more lines to extend this up to the top, because we're going to cut away that other part that we don't need. All we want to do is have kind of a cross-sectional cut. I think we're ready to erase some lines. I'll press eraser and erase those 2 lines, this one, and that there. Okay, so I still have a center line matching, and I'll erase that because we're going to need to create a new one to match our height of our cup. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to soften this edge at the top of our cup, and I'll use an arc for that as well. And so I still have 2-point arc, so I'll click from here to here, and I'll bring it up. I needed to constrain it on the green, so that should have done it, and it didn't. There it is. Constrain it on the blue. My apologies. So that's a half circle. I think I'll leave it that. Get my eraser out and erase that line. So now that looks like a good profile for half a cup. Let's save this. So we've done quite a bit so far, even though it didn't take long. I'll save as, and I'll put it in my turn-in folder. Might as well. It is still on my OneDrive, and there's my OneDrive. And I know you have a turn-in folder. There we are. So, do I have it down here? No, I'm not going to go down there. I'll just put it in this folder. There's my turn-in folder, and I'll call it the cup. And it's probably my first version, so I'll click Save. And so now I can go back to my drawing. The next thing we're going to do is prepare for the Follow Me tool. Or not the Follow Me tool, but this tool. No, it is the Follow Me tool. There we are. I'll choose the Follow Me tool. And to do that, we'll need a line to support a circle. And we'll match it to, it really doesn't matter where we match it to. We could match it to the top of this arc or the outside edge. Either one is fine. So I've used inferencing, and there's the top of my line. What I'm going to do is put a circle in here that is parallel with the base that we have down below. In other words, it'll be on the blue axis. Go find the circle drawing tool. Not there, but here. And I suppose I could have pressed a C for circle, just that I'm getting used to using this menu and I don't mind. So I'll press the up arrow, and that will constrain it to this plane. I'll click it and go look down so I can see it. And I'll bring it out so it just touches the top. Okay, there it is. So I'll press escape to stop that, spacebar to turn off the tool. Now I'm just about ready to create my cup. So the Follow Me tool, what's going to happen is we're going to use this line, the circular line that goes around the outside or the top of the rim of our cup, and we're going to have this surface follow that all the way around, which is going to copy these two lines and create our cup. To do that, we actually have to select this circle first, then the tool, and then the surface that we want to follow. We wait for it, and there's our cup. We have a little bit of work to do in that we have that line at the top we need to delete, and we have this surface. So I'm going to press spacebar. So I have the select tool. I'll click on that surface. I'll press delete, and this line that's running across the top, it actually is an object. We'll click it once and delete it. Control Z. I didn't want to do that. So how do I delete it without deleting the stuff underneath? I have to do that over. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. So why? Why did it do that? So circle drawing tool, and there it is. I'll put my circle on the top. I'll bring it out. This time I'm going to touch the endpoint there, and we should still be able to do the same task. Select this ring, Follow Me tool, click the surface, wait for it. There's my cup again. So now I can kind of see that it did follow, but the circle didn't actually touch much. So spacebar and select it. Can I delete the center? And if so, then can I delete this circle? So it worked at that time. So apparently that time it wasn't part of the geometry of the circle by being right on the top edge. It just was something to follow. So I'll click this center line, I'll click delete, and we'll take a look. Now the other lines that you see here, they're just at the transitions between, well, this is an outside line that describes, that's the outside, and this defines where the cup goes straight down and it starts to do a curve. This is where it stops doing a curve and starts to do a flat. these lines aren't different segments of our cup, and or are they? So can I delete this line? No, I don't want that. Ah, there's a tool that will let us delete this. Let's see if we can. I did stop it for a moment just so I could check this out, and I found that if I can select a segment, I can soften or smooth that out. If I click it, it makes it disappear, and this line that defines this edge between the flat sides and the curved sides will disappear. But man, that's going to take a while. So there is a quicker way, and it's embedded in the eraser. So I'm going to select the eraser and hold the Control key down. And when I do that, I can, it says Shift Hide. I can hide or effectively soften all of these edges. So that's what I'm doing now. And I find that I just need to move right along, and I think it just needs to catch up with me. So there's the rest of that curve. I let go of my mouse first, then I let go of the Control key. I did that, and I'll try this one. Did I get it all? Oh, not that one or that one. So now my cup is softened. That looks better. Okay, I think it's time to make a handle.